services offered by cable companies prorated over the number of customers. We won't receive that from Time Warner until Time Warner makes an application to the state of Wisconsin for the statewide franchise. And that might be in a few months, but right now, we're not going to get it. The new legislation exempts cable companies from paying any engineering review or plan permits for the construction within the village. Those expenses must be absorbed by the municipality if they receive the gross receipts payment. Consequently, the new cable competition law requires the village and all the municipalities to use those payments to provide services that support the construction and maintenance of the infrastructure installed by the cable industry. Any leftover funds will be used to support the village's multimedia operations. The first payment from AT&T for 1 month was $28. As time goes on, it's anticipated these payments will increase to at least cover the village responsibilities that have been mandated by the Cable Competition Act and hopefully help fund other video operations. One of the biggest activities that goes on in public works and engineering is people who are wanting to work and dig in the village driveway. And the village's responsibility under the locate laws of the state and now under new cable laws that for the cable industry, they get a free pass. And what they put into the ground is fiber optic cables. And we have to go through and find out where our sewer and water and those things are. And that's not the difficult part. The difficult part is if we don't have services in that area, or planning a street extension, or if we're planning on relaying something, we have to stop what we're doing and look down the road and then figure out where we're going to put something in order to make sure that the cable company isn't damaged. They get first pick of where to go. We got to find another place to put them. So the Cable Competition Act, the buzzword is cable for you, cable for us, but it's really at the taxpayer's expense, because it's money that the expense is work that's going to have to take place, and we're not going to, we'll get what we get from the gross receipts tax, but it's not where it was once. One of the questions that was raised by Mr. Babcock was, let's have the Kenosha Unified School District's students do this. I didn't contact Eric Olson, I contacted Mr. Joe Sagro, who's the guy in charge of Channel 25. And Channel 25, or Channel 20 for the school system, doesn't use students for their paperwork. They hire part-time people to do the work because work is typically, such as ours, it's after hours. It's something that makes students do not during the school day or a project. They tried it, and their end result was to pay part-time employees to come in and to do the work. And that's what we budgeted for this project. My recommendation on this is that the village board continue deferring the expenditure of capital and operational resources for video recording of village meetings in FY 2008 and reconsider expenditures again in 2009 budget when the financial resources of the village are prioritized. I think that's one of the things I want to bring back to. We have had this discussion as part of the budget process, and we made choices on what we wanted to fund throughout a lot of the departments in a big area, and that's where that capital ended. With respect to where Channel 25 gets their current funding, the current funding is not typically one-third, one-third, one-third. It's really based on what they do. Because they could be, given the nature of the recording or the demand for services, they might be someplace more than someplace else. So if we look at the first 2 months of 2008, for Channel 25, we spent 345 hours for our video technicians' work. 33 of that has been spent for Channel 25 production, 53 hours. 127 hours have been spent RecLife support. 91 hours have been spent on general fund support. 26 hours utilities activities. 66% has been on external billables, where somebody's wanting us to provide an ad form or do some work we built for that service. So in some piece, the general fund does pay for something, whether it's voting information or cafes, those type of projects. But the RecLife does a lot of video work. That's where the bulk of it's been. So based on where he's been is what the chargeback is to those departments. We'll just do a blanket 1/3, 1/3. We do it based on where they actually spend their time. Will the village residents, be continued to have to support this property tax dollars? We budgeted as though as they will, hopefully that at some point when the franchise or now the gross receipts tax works out, that we'll get some assistance on that. And I think that'll cover the portion for Channel 25. The other ones are funded out of those budgets. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. There's the things we've been able to do with Channel 25 that have helped in as far as utilities go, with garbage collection, fire department, recruiting members to be in the department, helping people understand what they need to do to vote. Those are positive things that help everybody. And we get as much as this as we can. Some of those shows go online on the village's website where people who aren't cable customers have access to. So that's where the report. That's my recommendation. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer. And Bruce here as well. Once you start getting into the to some of the questions as far as the technical, I just have her up at the table.
Mike, I appreciate you putting a report together, because after the last board meeting, I did have questions regarding the expense of the IT and also regarding KUSD students, because it does sound good having students do it at no cost. But now after the report, I understand it's a capital expenditure, and we do have to maintain our roads, and we need to take care of the bigger capital projects. We are taking steps to be more transparent by putting audio on the internet, by having the minutes at the village hall available if someone would like to listen to a CD or read the minutes once they've been approved. So we're taking a step. It may not be the big steps that other people would like to see, but we are getting there. And hopefully by 2010, we can have everything on Channel 25, have all the commissions, have the board meetings. But right now, with the price of the oil, the price of just filling the potholes, buying more salt for next year, it's going to be tight. And I don't think, just talking with other residents, they would rather see their roads plowed, the roads fixed, their garbage picked up, than watch a meeting on Channel 25. That's the consensus I've gotten in the last couple of weeks, just talking to board members, in unified PTA members, different groups of parents even, and different functions, trying to get ideas as to how we could make the cost be less expensive for the village to have meetings put on Channel 25. And people are like, it's a great idea, Mike, but at what cost does it affect us as a taxpayer? And I appreciate Alex and Mr. Babcock and Bob Jr. for being vocal. Continue to be vocal. Bring your concerns to the board. Hopefully, down the road, we'll be able to address those concerns and get out there for you. But I hope you see that we are looking at numbers and we're trying to figure out what is in the best interest of the entire village, what is best for the residents of the village of Pleasant Prairie.
I would never say that I would never be in favor of broadcasting ordinance. What I've said in the past is I think it is a boring broadcast. And I said if we do it, we're going to have to do it right. A statement was made by, I think, Mr. Tannenbach that the village may even have a studio set up. I just want to set that straight. As I understand it, and Chris is here, it's a green board they stand in front of, and it's computerization of a studio that we don't have. Okay. I just want to bring something to the board's attention that, and I've said this in the past, that there's so many other things that need to be funded before we broadcast this meeting. Right now, and this happened in Summers Township last year, and a trial is taking place in Racine County, but